it's beginning to look a lot like Christmas. Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. It is the 4th of December and yes, I am sat in a blanket looking like a thumb. So if you saw my November wrap up, which I will link in the description as ever, you'll know that I've had a chest infection and COVID, so that was fun. And you can probably still hear I'm still quite wheezy. I'm on my last day of antibiotics and I feel so much better than I did last week, which is good, but I'm still like quite wheezy, still with the cough. So yeah, we're just taking it easy today and I look like a thumb, but this is what I look like today. So this is what you get. Yeah, so we're into the last 2 weeks of term. I've got so much to do because I missed all of last week pretty much because I was off sick. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, which is obviously not ideal. So it's going to be a busy 2 weeks. This week we've got Christmas jumper day on Thursday. So that'll be fun. I'm going to wear my obnoxiously bright rainbow striped jumper just because like my actual Christmas jumpers are too thick to teach in all day. I will genuinely die of heat, and that stripy one I know I can teach him, so I'm gonna wear that. And then on Friday we have got our staff Christmas party. I'm hoping there's enough staff healthy enough to go because it's just been complete chaos last week. So many members of staff have been down with this virus, and so many kids out, like they had to shut a couple of year groups on Friday. It was that bad. So we'll see what this week brings. I feel like it's going to be chaotic. Going back to school tomorrow, I am still a bit wheezy and I'm not 100% like well. Oh, my neighbours are beeping at each other, but I'm well enough and I really want to get back to school and kind of mentally I feel ready for it. So we're going back to school tomorrow and we'll see how that goes. But I've come on in my blanket looking like a thumb because I finished my first book of the month, which is The Nothing Man by Catherine Ryan Howard. This is sent to me by the lovely Marlene, and it was chosen for my December TBR by the lovely Chloe at Chloe Reads Books. I will link my December TBR in the description if you've not seen that. Chloe picked this one for me and I absolutely flew through this. I've read this in 24 hours, I think, or a little bit more than that. Really enjoyed this. So this is sort of a thriller, sort of true crime, but a fictionalized version of true crime, if that makes any sense. We're following two storylines and you've kind of got a book within the book, which I thought was really clever, and the way that's laid out is really clever. So we're following Eve, who when she was 12, the Nothing Man, who was a serial killer, broke into her house, killed both her parents and her younger sister, and she survived because she happened to be in the bathroom when the attack started. And then 20 years later, she is writing The Nothing Man, the book, to try and kind of find him basically and unmask him. And she's looking at the crime that was committed against her and her family and the other crimes that he committed as well. And then at the same time, you're following Jim, who is it Jim? Yeah, who is a security guard in a supermarket. and he sees this book arrive in the supermarket one day, and there's lots of buzz about it, and he picks it up and starts reading it, and he is absolutely furious because he was the Nothing Man, but he's never been caught. So you're following him reading the story of what he's done and then what he decides to do from there. And I really liked this. I gave this 4 stars. I think if I gave half stars, this is more like a 4.5. It's really high 4. It wasn't quite a 5, partly because it's kind of hinted at that Eve's not telling the whole truth, and then the way that kind of worked out, I was a little bit disappointed by. And I also felt like the start and the end was so pacey, I could not put it down. But there was a little bit in the middle where it was just lagging a little bit, and I was like, can we get on with the story? But I did really enjoy this. I definitely recommend this. This is obviously super dark given the subject matter, but I thought it was cleverly done. I've read another one by her, Liar's Girl. I think I also gave that 4 stars. So I'm yet to give her a 5-star, but I feel like she's an author that might give me a 5-star thriller at some point. So yeah, really recommend this one. Really enjoyed that. And yeah, this is just a brief update opening the vlog, and hopefully next time you see me I will look less like a thumb, but I promise nothing. It's the 10th of December, and as you can see, I think it's the 10th of December. I said that confidently, and now I'm questioning myself. It's Saturday anyway, and now I'm a bit more dressed this time, a bit more presentable, a bit less like a thumb. You can hear my voice, it's been a busy week. All the usual stuff applies. It's the end of term, it's all mad. We haven't finished yet, we've got 1 more week, but trying to catch up after a week off is just... it's a time, let's put it that way. So yeah, it's been quite frantic this week, but just doing what I can. And then last night we had a staff Christmas party, so the school closes, we have to be off-site by 6, but the Christmas meal didn't start till 8, and there was no point going all the way home and then going all the way back. So I took myself off to Clark's Village for like a little solo Christmas date, and it was so lovely. You saw from the B-roll, like all the lights were really pretty, and I got a hot chocolate, and it was just a very nice time. And then I had to go out and had a lovely meal with most of my colleagues, and that was really fun. And yeah, I didn't get home till midnight, which is also probably the other reason for my voice sounding like this. I didn't have a single drop of alcohol all night because I was driving, but I've still managed to wake up this morning feeling hungover. So that's the joy of being in your mid-30s, I think. And my fringe is doing weird things again. I desperately need a haircut, but that is going to have to wait. So yes, I thought I'd jump on because I've got a book to talk about, and I've got 3 parcels. One is a book from a publisher, one is something I bought ages ago that's now arrived, and then one is a present from one of you lovely people. So yeah, I thought I'd sit and update you. You can see I'm in our spare room. We've got all the like Christmas chaos up here. Today we're going to go and get our Christmas tree, which I'm so excited about. It's always like genuinely my favourite day of the year, like weekend of the year, is when we go and get the tree and then decorate the house. So we're going to get the tree today, probably have hot chocolates again, and then I'm going to come home and mark year 10. 33 essays on Christmas Carol. Deep joy. But I'm going to go live and do a live stream because it's always really fun just chatting with you guys whilst I'm marking. So going to do that today, and then tomorrow we will decorate the tree because Jack doesn't care less about the tree, like not bothered. He'll just use it as a hidey hole. He likes to sit underneath it. But the girls we've never seen with a Christmas tree before because this is our first Christmas with both of them. Molly, I'm fairly sure this is possibly her first Christmas in a home. So I don't know if she's seen a tree before, and I'm not sure about Sav either. So we're going to leave the tree up like for 24 hours before we decorate it in case they decide they need to climb it. So we'll see how that goes. And then next week, last 5 days of school, it'll be even crazier than normal, I'm sure. And then we can start Christmas. But yeah, here is my reading update. So my reading's been super slow this week. I'm thoroughly enjoying the book that I'm reading, which you'll obviously see in the next update. And I also thoroughly enjoyed my reread for the month, which was Dissolution by C.J. Sampson. This is historical crime fiction. We're in Tudor times. This starts about 6 months after the death of Anne Boleyn, and we're following Matthew Shardlake, who is a lawyer, and he is sent by Cromwell to investigate a murder at a monastery. And whilst he's there, the snow closes in, more people start dying, and he has to work out what's going on, basically. And this is the start of the Matthew Shardlake series. When I originally read it, I gave it 5 stars. I have dropped it to a 4. Potentially a bit controversial. My brother's probably shouting at the screen. I've found this time, I knew the answer, obviously, to the mysteries. I still enjoyed reading it a second time and like picking up on all the clues and being like, oh yeah, that means that. But some of it, I found myself skimming slightly. So I couldn't quite get into it as much as last time, but I still thoroughly enjoyed it. I will probably very slowly do a series reread, possibly next year or possibly over the next couple of years. But this is a series I thoroughly enjoy. If you like mysteries, if you like historical fiction, I would really recommend these. So yeah, that was a 4-star reread. Then I had a parcel come from Pam Macmillan. Let's show you it without my address on it. And they've sent me the nicest little Christmas parcel and an ARC for a book I'm really excited about. Plus it's an ARC I'll need to read this month because it comes out in January. So this was the parcel. Look, we've got 2 cute little candy canes. We have got a winter warmer tea, which I might give a go actually. It's ginger rooibos, orange and star anise. So I might give that a try. And some stickers that I'm definitely going to use at school this week. And then the book they sent me. This is the Marriage Act by John Mars. And this comes out in January. This comes out... Is there an actual date for when you come out? I don't think there is. It just says January. And this is set in the same universe as The One, which is a thriller, yeah, that I really enjoyed from him a couple of years ago, in which you were able to do a DNA match to find your one true love, and it followed a series of couples who were doing that and various different effects that this had had. And one of the couples was a serial killer and a policewoman who didn't know that she'd been matched with a serial killer, so that was really interesting. And this one says, your relationship is being monitored, break your vows, pay the price. And it's Britain in the near future. A right-wing government believes it has the answer to society's ills. The Sanctity of Marriage Act, which actively encourages marriage as the norm, punishing those who choose to remain single. But 4 couples are about to discover just how impossible relationships can be when the government is monitoring every aspect of their personal lives, monitoring every word, every minor disagreement, and is willing to use every tool in its arsenal to ensure everyone will love, honour and obey. And that just sounds really good and really eerie and dark, so I'm excited, and that will go on to my December TBR. So we'll see how that goes, because it's currently a huge TBR and I've read 2 books and it's the 10th. But anyway, then a parcel arrived. I was very, very excited about, because I bought too many candles yet again from the Little Bookish Company. So I've talked about them before. It's run by Lauren, who's just one of the nicest humans. Oh my gosh, I really did go overboard. So I will link her Etsy store in the description. She's also on Instagram and she posts the most beautiful and aesthetic things. Wow, I really did buy a lot of stuff from her. Whoops. Not at all sorry though. So I got a full candle, which I'll show you in a minute. But I also bought these. So these are wax melts. and let's put them in. So she did a Christmas drop, and she also did, oh, now I'm just dropping stuff, and she also did a Little Women themed drop, and I got very overexcited. So let's look at Little Women first, and they've all got like different glitters and stuff. So this is Joe, this is cinnamon and gingerbread. Oh my gosh, that smells amazing. Then I've also got Amy, which is warm butter cookies. Oh, my house is going to smell incredible. I got Beth, which is, wow, creamy hot chocolate. Let's do this properly. I got Meg, which is apple and cinnamon. And I genuinely don't know which one I am more excited about. Oh my gosh, look at the musical notes in Beth. Like, I'm so excited for these. And then the Christmas ones. So I got Cindy Lou Who, which is sweet candy cane. Oh my gosh, it smells so good. I got Whoville, which is snow-kissed streets. Oh my gosh, if we get snow like we're supposed to next week, I'm definitely burning this. And then I got Martha May, which is mulled pear and cranberry. Oh my gosh, what do you do, Lauren? It's some kind of witchcraft. And then for Christmas week, so I don't have enough Christmas candles, apparently. Oh my gosh, I can't get into this. This has been packed really, really well. Let's get some scissors. For like Christmas week, I saw this and I was like, I'm gonna have to have it, even though my kid is far too old for Santa. I'm not. I'm a giant child. This is in Santa's workshop. Oh, the smell of that. That is like marzipan. Smells so good. Yeah, almond marzipan, and it's in Santa's workshop. It's so cute. Look at, I'm so excited. This is like, for me, this is high level self-care, but also I kind of forgot when I was ordering that it would be this many. I'm not sorry, my house is going to smell incredible. And then this parcel arrived from my wish list, and I made Gary open it because I didn't know if it was a Christmas present. So he's opened it and checked it, and he was like, no, it is a present, but it's not. It doesn't say anything about Christmas. So I was like, okay, so let's open this together. Whoa. There's 2 books and something in there. He said, oh, you'll really like it. I was like, well, it is from my wish list, so I'm not surprised. But anyway, let's open this and see what this is. Oh, yay. I'm currently reading the second one. So this is Frostheart, Rise of the World Eater. I think this is the 3rd and last one. So I don't want to read too much about the back because I'm currently reading Frostheart, Escape from Aurora, which is the 2nd in that series. So that's very exciting. I'm reading Escape from Aurora as my school book, so I'll bring that home at the end of next week and probably finish it at the start of this Christmas holidays. What else is in here? Oh, there's chocolate. That's one. This is my favourite one. This is the white raspberry popping candy, which has the added bonus of my husband not liking it, so I don't have to share. And there's a hardback book in here. Okay, Book of Magic. Oh my gosh, this is the next in the Practical Magic series. It's the conclusion. And it's about the aunt. Okay, so I was asked the other day on Instagram about if I'd chosen my first read of next year, and now I know the answer. It's definitely going to be this. Oh my gosh, do I want to read this right now? Like, I want to read this so bad, I'm almost feeling panicked. Oh my gosh, that's so exciting. Who did this? Who was this from? Hang on, that's the receipts. Who is this from? Oh, it's from Zoe. So she said, love the first Sunday of a new month because it means a wrap-up hot chocolate and relaxing start with my recently adopted German Shepherd called Nova. Hope you enjoy. Thank you so much. And she said, hope you enjoy this instalment from a subscriber who enjoys your video, from Zoe. Thank you. Oh, I'm like really overwhelmed. Like, this is a series I'm really enjoying. This is one of my favourite chocolate bars of all time. And this, like, Alice Hoffman and this series has a really special place in my heart, and I'm overwhelmed now. I feel like I might cry. Okay, I am going to go and find Zoe on social media, say a massive, massive thank you, sort all this stuff out, put some candles away, admit to my husband how many I actually bought, and then we're going to go and buy a Christmas tree. 11th of December, and as you can see, we have had the smallest sprinkling of snow you've ever seen. It's literally about a centimetre. But what's been really funny is watching the cats. Like, Jack doesn't like it. We know he doesn't like it from previous experience. Molly, I don't think has ever seen it before. She was literally going outside and like patting the floor and then shouting, and she hardly ever uses her voice, so that was really funny to see. And Sav is also not impressed. She's also sat behind the camera, so if you can hear cleaning noises, that's her. As you saw from the b-roll, we have picked our Christmas tree and we're going to decorate it this afternoon, so I'm very excited about that. I've also woken up with what feels like possibly tonsillitis. Not ideal, but anyway. So I'm obviously dosing up with Lemsip and all that good stuff. But I've also come on because I finished a book yesterday, and that is A Girlhood, A Letter to My Transgender Daughter by Carolyn Hayes. This was sent to me by Bookbreak in exchange for an honest review. It comes out in January. And Carolyn Hayes is a pseudonym. It says at the start that it's a pseudonym for a best-selling author who wants to obviously protect their daughter's privacy. I love this. Let's say that first of all. I had quite low expectations. I did request it because it sounded really interesting. Because it is about this cis woman's experience of raising a transgender daughter and having no prior kind of experience or knowledge of the transgender community and having to deal with her own kind of internalized anti-trans thoughts, and then obviously supporting her daughter. And they were also originally living in a red state in America, and they had a knock at the door one day because somebody had reported them to social services, or like the American equivalent, saying that they were forcing their daughter to be queer. And it started off this whole chain of events that kind of ends with them moving to a blue state where their daughter will be more easily accepted. And yeah, I wasn't quite sure what to expect. The text in this, and I don't know if the finished copy will be different, is tiny, which does put me off. So I was a little bit like, oh, I'm not sure, this might be really hard to read. It's absolutely beautifully, stunningly written. I cannot recommend this enough. She's so open and honest. It is so raw in places. It was almost hard to read. In that way, it was really emotional, but it's beautifully done, and it's kind of, she weaves together the story of their family, so obviously her daughter, her trans daughter, but also her other daughter and their two sons, and her husband, and she kind of weaves it all together really beautifully, and also doesn't hold back from talking about the discrimination that her and her family have faced and the things that they've done to try and counteract that and push back against it. And I just thought this was stunning. I feel like this is going to be one of those books that's going to be everywhere next year, as it should be. This is what the actual cover will look like. And I adored it. It says on the front, it says, touching, combative, compelling. This memoir begins with the suspense of a thriller and ends with hope. And I would completely agree with that. It's 5 stars. I loved it. I will be surprised if it doesn't make it onto my favourite books of the year list. So I finished that one. I'm going to go and drink some more lemon and honey for my poor throat. I'm going to make toad in the hole for lunch, and then we are going to deck the halls. It's the 17th of December and we have made it to the Christmas holidays, and I'm very excited and very happy about that. Also, I don't think I've ever used this angle before, and I don't know why not, because you can see my bookshelves really nicely. Yeah, first day of the Christmas holidays. Thank goodness. I think we have 17 days off or something in total. And boy, is it needed. The last week of term is always simultaneously the slowest and the fastest week of the term, because we're, you know, on countdown. Feels like it's taken forever, especially like the last lesson of the day. It always feels like, come on, is it 3:15 yet? But we are there now. It's been a mixed week. We put together our staff Christmas video, which we do every year, and I wish I could show it, but obviously I can't. But it was just so much fun. This year we did Wish It Could Be Christmas Every Day, and it's just each department like takes a line or a few lines, and we film a little clip with us like dancing around to the music and karaokeing it, and it's just so much fun. And the kids always love it. We show it during the last lesson of the day, and I have my year 11s who, you know, at 15 and 16 try and tell me that they're too old for this kind of stuff, but they were loving it. We watched it like 3 times I think in the end, because they kept asking to see it again, so that was really, really super fun. I've had another cold, which is why you haven't seen much of me, because I've looked like a slug person. And we also had a bit of a scary time with Charlie on Thursday night. Basically, he's not been very well. He was just really poorly, and then he got really light sensitive, and he, you know, couldn't move his neck and stuff. So his mum rightly rang 111, who told her to call 999, who told her to get him to A&E because they thought it sounded like meningitis. So that was obviously a really scary phone call to get. And Gary went and met them at A&E, and then after about 4 hours or so of like being seen and waiting and tests and stuff, it turned out it's not meningitis. Thankfully, it is just another of these horrible viruses that are going around at the moment. So he's at home currently on some painkillers and rest and all that kind of stuff, and he seems to have perked up over the last couple of days, which is good. So hopefully he will be back to normal shortly. But that was a scary few hours yeah, on Thursday night. So we had that. Today I have got Chloe coming. I'm like really excited, and I was saying to Gary this morning, I realised like I've met up with a few Booktube people by now, but this is the first time someone's actually come to the house, and that's mostly because, well, it is because of the pandemic. So like Charlotte came to visit in, I want to say like July or August of 2020, but because of the pandemic we had to stay outside, so we met outside the book barn, which is nearby, or it was until it closed, breaking my heart in the process. And this is the first time that a Booktube person's actually been in my house, so I'm like giddy. And we're doing a full Christmas dinner, like full Christmas dress rehearsal, I guess. So I'm going to cook a roast, I'm going to set a table. She passed her accountancy exams yesterday. Like, I will obviously have linked her, so please go and like support her and show her some love. She passed her accountancy exams yesterday, so she very shortly will be a chartered accountant. I think that's the right word, but it's an incredible achievement. So I've got a couple of like little gifts to celebrate that, and yeah, it's just gonna be a nice time. I'm gonna show her my books, she's gonna meet my husband obviously, and the cats, and yeah, it's just gonna be a nice festive time. And then tomorrow Gary and I are going on a little day date, which I'm very excited about, and obviously you'll see B-roll footage of all of those things. But I have also finished a book, and then I've had 2 presents, so I thought I'd talk about them. The book was Starbaker by Andrew Michael Hurley, which my friend Steph gave me for Christmas last year. This is a weird one. I really enjoy this cover. This is literary fiction about a couple whose 5-year-old son, prior to the start of the book, has recently died. And it's kind of about the 2 different ways they're dealing with their grief. Oh, hello, Savvy. Hello. You coming to say? Yeah, she's now going to cause chaos during this clip. Yeah, it's kind of about the different ways they deal with their grief. And it's sort of like, is there something wrong with the kid? Is there something wrong with the house? Is there something wrong with them? Or is it just grief? And I gave this 3 stars, okay, and I thought it was going to be a 4 or 5 stars until like the last 50 pages, the ending. I don't know if I'm just not clever enough, but I didn't get it. It didn't feel like it was resolved, and it's really short. It's like 220 pages. I feel like if we'd had another 50 pages and it had been explained properly, I would have enjoyed it a lot more and got more out of it. But as it was, I kind of read it and I was like, that was beautifully written. It was weird, and I didn't get it. So those are my thoughts on that book. So there we go. I then carelessly opened a parcel without looking at the label properly, and then realised it's from my wish list. So apologies I didn't open it on camera. But it didn't come with a note. However, a little bit of internet digging later, and it turns out that the lovely Olivia Savannah from Olivia's Catastrophe had sent me this as a Christmas present. This is the interview by C.M. Ewan. Hopefully I'm saying that right. I've got hiccups now. I've heard so many good things about this. I think this is going to be like a fun, when I say trashy thriller, I mean, I'm sure hopefully it's well written, but one of those where like you read it really fast, like in a day or so, and it says her dream job or a deadly trap. It's 5 p.m. on a Friday. You've been called to an interview for your dream job. In a stunning office 13 floors above the city below, you're all alone with the man interviewing you. Everyone else has gone home for the weekend. The interview gets more and more disturbing. You're feeling scared. Your only way out is to answer a seemingly impossible question. If you can't, what happens next? I am so intrigued for this. So massive thank you to Olivia Savannah for sending that to me. And again, apologies, I didn't open it on camera. And then I've had this arrive from my wish list. So it's clearly a present. And I was like, oh, should I maybe leave it for Christmas? And then I was like, yeah, but I really want to open it. So I'm going to open it because I'm a grown woman and I can open stuff if I want to. So let's see what this is. Whoa. Ooh, hang on. Let's see if we can find a gift note first. There we go. Let's pop that there. Who is this from? Oh, it is a Christmas gift. Whoops. This is from Lovely Mary from Mary Among Stories. She said, Merry Christmas, Lovely. I know how much you love the first book, so hopefully you enjoy this one too. Sending lots of hugs. Mary from Mary Among Stories. What have I got on my wish list? That was the second book. Let's see. Yes! Perfect choice for Mary. And this is the Lollipop Shoes. This has been on my wish list for ages. I keep looking at it and being like, oh, I should really get it. Wow, it's big. It's bigger than I thought. This is the follow-up to Chocolat, which I adored. I gave it 5 stars last year, I think. And this is the second book. Seeking refuge in anonymity in the cobbled streets of Montmartre, Yanni and her 2 daughters live peacefully, if not happily, above their little chocolate shop. Here comes Sam again. Hello, Trouble. I'm trying to film and you're in the way. Thank you. Oh, that's nice. Nothing unusual marks them out. No red sachets hang by the door. The wind has stopped, at least for a while. Then into their lives blows Zosie de la Alba, the lady with the lollipop shoes, ruthless, devious and seductive. With everything she loves at stake, Jan must face a difficult choice: to flee, as she has done so many times before, or to confront her most dangerous enemy, herself. So yeah, I'm so intrigued for this. But yeah, this is big. This is over 500 pages. So yeah, I'm definitely very, very excited for that. Thank you so much, Mary. That was really, really kind of you. I should definitely have left that for Christmas. Whoops. But right now, I need to go get my act together and cook a roast dinner. It's the 19th of December and I don't know why I chose this angle because you can see all the junk that is piled up in the corner of our bedroom. I don't know if this happens to other people, like when we decorate for Christmas we have to like move stuff out of the normal places in our house and then stuff just ends up everywhere. This is also Molly's cat bed, so super glamorous background, but we've had the nicest couple of days, as you'll have seen from the b-roll. Chloe came over and we had a roast and she got us presents, which was really cute. And we just had a really good chat and a catch up, and it was really nice to have her in the house. And she met the cats, who were very well behaved, thankfully. And obviously she met Gary and stuff. But yeah, it was a really, really nice day. And then yesterday, Gary and I went out for brunch, and then the plan was to like have a little date day, but the weather was horrible. We went to Clark's Village because we needed to get some bits for Charlie last minute. And we were going to have like a little wander around and, you know, get hot chocolates and all that kind of stuff, but it was so grim. We just came home, we got what we needed to. We got giant donuts, which I think I put a shot in. Mine was the Santa's Belly one, which was filled with Nutella, and it was chef's kiss, delicious. But yeah, the day was a little bit of a washout, so we came home. I also hit the wall, which happens to me every single holiday. I don't know why I was surprised it happened yesterday, but it's just where I cannot function anymore as a human. So we came home and curled up. I made a stew for dinner. Sav's now behind the camera, so you might be able to hear her pottering around. I'd put a stew in for dinner in the morning. We watched the final of the World Cup, which actually got quite exciting. I'm not a football fan, I generally don't care, but going to penalties was quite exciting, so we watched that. And then we watched Love Actually, which is one of our Christmas traditions. So yeah, it's just been a lovely chill time. Today's Monday. Today is the only day in the 2-week holiday where I don't have either Gary or Charlie with me, and I don't have errands to run, so I'm having a pajama day, as you can see. I'm about to film, I'm going to go and film this morning a read with me, which by the time this goes up, that will be up if all's gone to plan, so I'll leave a link for that below. So I'm going to film that today, which will be really nice. Other than that, I have no plans except reading and relaxing, and we're having like leftovers for dinner, so there's really nothing stressful to do. And then tomorrow I have lots of errands to do. I need to go and get my eyes tested, I need to pay some money into the bank, I need to finish my Christmas shopping. It'll be the 20th of December tomorrow and I still won't have finished. And I've got to take Jack to the vets just for his annual jabs and checkups. So plenty going on tomorrow. So today is my like chill, relax, quiet day. Try and recharge a little bit before we then get into like family Christmas stuff, which I'm very excited about. I have finished a book. And before I get into this review, I know this is a book that lots of people have enjoyed. It came highly recommended from Leanne, and then Harry picked it for my TBR this month because he really enjoyed it and was excited for me to read it. And I gave it 2 stars, and I think it might be the worst book I've read this year. That book is Still House Lake by Rachel Kane. I didn't enjoy this, and I'm really sorry. It was also gifted to me by Laura. So thank you so much for sending it to me, Laura. I genuinely appreciate it. I'm really glad I got to read it and like cross it off the list. Yeah, it was Laura. I won't read another Rachel Kane. I liked the setup. We're following a woman who's living in her house with her husband and 2 kids. Everything's perfect. And then one day a drunk driver crashes into their garage. And in the wreckage, she finds this dead woman hanging from the rafters. And it's revealed very quickly that her husband is a serial killer. He's very quickly arrested and put into prison, and so is she. She's arrested as his accomplice. And then we jump forward, I think it's like 5 years later. She is living with her children on the run, basically. So she was acquitted of being, or found not guilty of being, his accomplice. And her and her children are constantly changing identities, moving places. She's trying to make sure that her husband can't find them, and that also his kind of online fans can't find them either, because she gets all these horrific death threats. And I felt like the premise was really good. I liked the first 50 or so pages. I did think there wasn't enough of their life before, because we didn't really have anything to like connect to. It happens very quickly, sort of in like 5 pages, suddenly bang, dead body in her garage, and then everything takes off from there. And I feel like if we'd had a bit more of like their life before, it might have been better. But the writing I didn't think was great. I was skim reading bits of it because I was getting bored, and then something happens at the end that makes the whole book pointless, and I was just like, really? That's what we're doing? And it is the first book in a series, but it just did something that I hate when books do. And obviously I can't say what it is because of spoilers, but yeah, I gave this 2 stars. This was not for me. This was definitely not for me, that book. So yes, sorry about that. But yeah, for now I'm gonna go, and I also want to, I'm pointing at my TBR shelf up there. My current December TBR is not working. I think I put too many books on it, and just the whole thing of having a TBR for whatever reason has stopped working for my brain. So what I've decided to do is one of the things I'm going to do this morning is sort my books out. I'm going to rejig my TBR, make it smaller. There are a couple of things I definitely want to read, so I'm going to pull those out, and the rest I'm going to put back into the like general circulation of my TBR shelf. So there's that. So I'm going to do that in a minute, and then I'm going to curl up, get cozy, and read. 23rd of December, so it's Christmas Eve, and I am starting to get a little bit excited. I probably should have dried my hair before I started filming this clip. We've also got Jack here on his throne. But I didn't, so here we are. And it's been a really busy but good few days. I think when I spoke to you last, I was having my like chill lazy day, and I've got a couple of books to talk about that I finished during that. Let's bring those a bit closer. And then Tuesday was a real busy day. I went and had my eye test. I treated myself to some breakfast whilst I was in town, because basically I can't go past the lounge now without popping in for breakfast. I like sorted some banking stuff out. It was all like life admin that there's never any time for during term time. I also took this one to the vets for his yearly injections and what we call his MOT. He's mostly fine. He is fine. He does have, the vet thinks he has early stages of cat dementia, which is sad. He's very young for it. He's only 6, we think, but he is a rescue, so it's kind of best guess. But he's just, you know, he's lost a bit of weight, and he's just confused a lot of the time. He's doing a lot of wandering around. He's got more vocal and a few other things. And yes, basically, long story short, vet thinks it's dementia, or the start of that. So for the moment, it's just a case of monitoring him. We are working on getting his weight up, because he's a little bit on the scrawny side. So working on that, which obviously he is loving. And it's just a case of keeping everything the same in the house. So we already have quite a firm routine, but it's stuff like not moving furniture and things. So once the Christmas tree goes next week, and we put like our house back together after Christmas, then we'll obviously keep everything the same for him. And yeah, just keeping him happy. He seems fine. He's, like I said, he's on his throne. So that's been this week. And then Wednesday and Thursday, I was with Charlie down at my family. So it was a whistle-stop tour this year. We only had the 2 days, but we've just packed absolutely loads into it. We had breakfast with my dad. We went over to my mum's and saw her kitten, which is the tiny little black kitten, Billy. We have not got another cat, just to be clear. That's not our kitten. Who's very cute, but very naughty. She is like up and down mum's curtains, like they're a ladder. And like up and down the tree and all sorts of things, but we loved her. We walked the dogs. My mum cooked us a roast, which was amazing. We stayed at my nan and granddad's, who live nearby, and my granddad is turning 90 tomorrow on Christmas Eve. So yesterday we had a Chinese, because that's his favourite, and opened some presents at my mum's, and then I dropped Charlie back to his mum, and then obviously I came home. So it was a real like manic 48 hours, lots of driving for me, but it was really good. I'm very tired, but it was wonderful, and it was great to see everybody. So that's all done. Today, as I said, is Christmas Eve. Gary's now off work for the break, which is brilliant, because I'm always way more relaxed when he's off as well. And we're just doing last minute kind of Christmas bits this morning, wrapping presents, and our Christmas cards finally arrived yesterday. So I'm going to write those and send them out anyway, even though they won't arrive till the new year now. So I need to do that, and like tidying the house and just getting ready, really, because we are hosting on Christmas Day. So yeah, that's everything that's been going on. Tomorrow is obviously Christmas Eve, so I will get up really early and go and do the Marks & Spencer's food shop that I do every year, just to get treats for Gary and I for Boxing Day, when it will just be the 2 of us. So I'll go and do that early, like my alarm's set for 5:30, like that early. And every time I get there at like 6:30, and there's a queue out the door already. So it'll be like elbows sharp and running shoes on tomorrow. So get that done first thing in the morning, and then it will just be prep. So I'll be cooking a few things so that I'm ahead for Christmas Day. I'm prepping veg and getting the tables up and all that stuff. And Gary will be cleaning the house whilst I do that. And then we pick Charlie up on Christmas Eve, because we have him for Christmas Day and then take him back Boxing Day. But you might see me in between now and then. I don't know yet. We'll see how it goes. But I've finished 3 books. I've been gifted 2 books by my family whilst I was down there. I've also got another lovely gift that was sent by one of my friends, and one of the gifts that my mum gave me, I want to show you in particular. And then I got 2 parcels, and I was going to leave them and open them on Christmas Day or Boxing Day, but we're going to open them now because I'm a massive child and I can't wait, and I'm excited to see what they are. So books, the first one that I finished was Frostheart Escape from Aurora by Jamie Littler. This is the second in the Frostheart series. This was definitely gifted to me, and I cannot remember who by. Who gifted me this? I had a gift note in here somewhere. Oh my goodness, don't tell me I've lost the gift note. Anyway, this is the second in the Frostheart series, where we are following Ash. Is it Ash? Yes. And he is a song weaver, and it's set in the future, I think, but the whole world is covered in ice and snow. And this is just following the adventures. And I can't talk too much about it because it's the second book. It's also the middle book. I think it's going to be a trilogy. I've got the 3rd one upstairs, which I think I opened this month, so you've probably seen me open that. And I enjoyed this. I gave this did I give this 3 or 4 stars? I think I gave it 4 stars. I really enjoyed this series. It's also really beautifully illustrated by the author, Jamie Littler. Let's see if I can find like non-spoilery. Let's go from nearer the front. Well, it's illustrated all the way through. It's absolutely beautiful, and it's a beautiful adventure story, and it's very much about finding yourself and coming into your power and all of that kind of stuff. I didn't completely connect to it, and I felt that way about the first one. There was something that felt a little bit remote, but I'm still enjoying the adventure, still really enjoying the story. So I gave that 4 stars, and I'm looking forward to picking up the third one probably shortly. So yeah, there was that one. Then I read The Marriage Act by John Mars, which was sent to me very kindly by Book Break in exchange for an honest review. This comes out in January. I loved this. I gave this 5 stars. I was obsessed with this. This is set in the same universe as The One, which is an earlier John Mars book, in which the technology has advanced so that you can take a DNA test and they will match you with your soulmate. And this is set in the same universe kind of a couple of decades later, and it's looking at the Marriage Act, which is where you can upgrade to a smart marriage, where you have this device, this kind of I won't say her name because it will set her off, that device in your house, but it records your relationship. So it records how you talk to each other, and you all wear also your wedding ring is recording you all the time, and it monitors you. And we follow, as we always do in John Mars books, multiple perspectives. And I always spend the first 100 pages going, what is going on and who are all these people? And then suddenly it all clicks in and it just takes off like a rocket. And I thought this was really cleverly done. I don't really want to talk too much about the plot because it's just about this society, and it's about a whole load of different people who are living within it, and how this affects them. And it's very much about class, and it's about government control. It's about social media. It's about the way we kind of sign over parts of ourselves and our lives. I just thought it was brilliant. I was on the edge of my seat the whole time. I love the way, one of the things that John Mars is really good at is revealing how people are connected to other people within a story. And I just love the way he did it. I gave it 5 stars. I think this is probably going to be pretty big when it comes out. So I would very much recommend it. Do check content warnings because it is very dark, as John Mars always is. But I thoroughly enjoyed it. I thought it was brilliant. 5 stars. Thank you very much, Book Break. Thoroughly enjoyed that one. And then I read Frozen Charlotte by Alex Bell. This was gifted to me by Chloe, I think possibly last Christmas. And this was so creepy. Now, I'm going to say this right now. This is not the best written thing you will ever read. It's not a piece of high literature. It's a YA book about a girl called Sophie, yes, who goes to visit her cousins in Scotland. And 8 years previously, one of her cousins, Rebecca, had died in an accident, and Sophie doesn't really know what happened to Sophie because nobody talks about it. And she goes up, and there's her 3 cousins there, 3 cousins that are left, and it's about what happens to her. And interwoven with this is the Frozen Charlotte myth. And Frozen Charlotte is a folk song about a girl who froze to death because she was too vain to wear her coat, because she wanted everyone to see her pretty dress. And as it says on the front, you can see these creepy dolls, and it says, "We're waiting for you to come and play." So you can probably see where this is going. I gave this 4 stars. I think this is actually probably a 3.5 star book in terms of the way it's written. It's got loads of flaws in it, but I was so hooked and I was so tense and genuinely scared. I don't read much horror. I couldn't put this down. I also had to stop myself reading it at night because I was definitely going to give myself nightmares. It's so eerie. So if you're looking for horror, I would really recommend this. Also, if you're looking to kind of get into horror, this is probably a good one. Please check content warnings because there are lots. But yeah, I just really enjoyed this, so I gave it 4 stars. So there we go. Okay, let's look at some stuff that I've been given. So first of all, I went to see my mum, obviously, over the last couple of days, and she'd bought some more earrings from Wizard Kitsch, which is run by my cousin, Els, who I'll talk about. Oh no, I'll talk about both things from Els together. That makes more sense. Quite often I wear these round dangly earrings, and they're from Els as well, and I'll link Wizard Kitsch in the description. I think they're on Etsy, definitely on Instagram. But she got me these, which just look really cool, so I'm looking forward to wearing those over Christmas. So I thought I'd show those. And then also Els wrote a book called Hobble Down Heath by E.B. Davies. That's them. And this is a little fantasy adventure story. Hobble Down is a kind of small adventure park, Anne Els has written a book all about like setting characters in this place, and obviously I haven't read it yet, so I don't know this about it, but it's really short. It's so beautiful. They also illustrated the whole thing because they are ridiculously talented. Like, I've already shown you the map. They signed it for me and did a little illustration. But it's just set in Hobbledown, and they've illustrated the whole thing, and it's absolutely stunning, and I'm so excited to get to read it. So yeah, I feel like it's going to be a really like cute, cozy time. So yes, I've got that. Then the lovely Marianne at Copper Books sent me the cutest little Christmas card, which is up there. I forgot to get it. I will take some B-roll footage of it in a minute, with a lovely message inside, which I won't read because obviously it's personal. But she also sent me a voucher for Blackwell's, so that's very excited. So I will treat myself to a book in January with that online. So thank you so much, Marianne. I was absolutely blown away. It was so generous and really, really kind. So that was lovely. And then my dad, as part of my Christmas present, as I said, Charlie and I met with him for breakfast. Oh yes, on Wednesday. I don't know what day we're on. And he gave us stuff to open on Christmas Day, but then he was like, oh, I've got you this, and it was clearly a book, and he was like, I'm reading it on audiobook at the moment, and I'm really interested to see what you think about it. And he kept talking, and I was like, should I just open it now? And he was like, yeah, that's probably a good idea. So the book is The Spy Who Loved, by Claire Mully, and it's non-fiction, and it's about what is her name, Christine Granville, who was a spy, basically. The secrets and lives of one of Britain's bravest wartime heroines. It looks so interesting. And Dad wrote a message in here. He said, Happy Christmas 2022. I think this is a fabulous book and piece of history. Let me know how you get on with it. Love, Dad. So yeah, I will definitely be picking this up ASAP and having a read of that, because that genuinely looks really interesting. And obviously I want to be able to chat with my dad about it. And then I got 2 parcels that arrived whilst I was away. I've got this one that came in, and then also this one arrived, but it feels like, oh, I can hear bells ringing there. I've got an idea of what that might be. It feels really light. It feels like there's nothing in there. So let's open this one first, because this arrived first. Okay, what have we got? I'm so excited. Who is this from? That's the receipt. And oh, it's from Laura. Merry Christmas. Hope you have a well-deserved rest. Thank you for being you. Thank you, Laura. What has she sent me? What is this one? Oh, good choice. Broadcast by Liam Brown. Black Mirror meets Inception in the YouTube age. I can't remember who I saw talking about this, but I was like, I need to read this. So it says on the back, the idea behind Mindcast is simple. We insert a small chip into your skull, and then every thought, every feeling, every memory is streamed live 24 hours a day. Trust me, within a few months, you'll be the most talked about person on the planet. And that's all I want to read. Oh my gosh, I might pick this up like now. Thank you so much, Laura. I'm really excited for that one. That was an excellent choice. And then let's see, my address is on the top of this box, so obviously can't show you that. Let's see if I can get into it. But it feels like it's empty. It was one of those, I was like, what is in here? But I can hear bells jingling, which does give me a little bit of a clue. I feel like cats might enjoy this one, which is so brilliant. Let's, what are you? Oh, there's multiple. Oh my gosh. Okay, there's like many things in here. Who is this from? Oh, here comes Sav. From Alfie. Oh, to the cats. Hope you like playing with these. From Alfie the dog. That's so cute. Are there any other? Oh, here's the other gift note. From Joe, obviously. Yeah. Victoria, hope you have a good Christmas and enjoy your school holiday. Thank you for this year's content, from Joe. Thank you so much for doing this, Joe. So there's this, which is obviously for the cats. Cat toys. Oh my goodness. Look at all of this. I've already got a cat that's like, can we play? So I will definitely try and get some B-roll footage. And then this. Oh my gosh, there's going to be fights over this. Look at this. Oh my gosh. Okay. That's for you. She's just out of shot. But she's like, oh, yes, please. And then for me, I saw this and I was like, oh my gosh, I need it. Look at this book sleeve. Does this not just shout me? I mean, and it's got a pouch on the front. I like it when they have a pouch because I can put bookmarks in them. Thank you so much for these treats, Joe. That was really, really kind of you. And Laura, obviously. So yes, more treats, more nice things. And now I'm going to go and finally, on the 23rd of December, write my Christmas cards. the 27th of December and we have Christmas. As you can probably hear, my voice is going. And I got a little bit of a sniffle again, but we've had such a good time. Sorry, hey, you're fine. I've got all of the cats in here because my mum decided to get us a giant, I don't know if you can see it if I pick you up, giant 4-way like cat tunnel, which the cats are obsessed with. So I think I've got all 3 of them in here. So if you can hear like rustling noises in the background, it's them. Yeah, we've had a really good Christmas. We hosted Christmas Day, and then yesterday, which was Boxing Day, I'm losing track of the days, it was just Gary and I. Jack, that's Jack and Savannah, I'm not sure if he's playing or if he's across. She's not sure either, which is why she's laid down. Yeah, and then yesterday was just Gary and I, so we had a very chill day. And then this morning my dad's come around quite early because he's on his way to pick my grandma up, so he's popped in for a piece of cake and a cup of tea, which was lovely. Saw him. He's just gone, and now I've finally got a chance to kind of sit down and chat to you guys. So I have finished 6 books since I spoke to you last, which I think was Christmas Eve, or Christmas Eve, can't remember. I've got 2 Amazon parcels that have arrived, and then I wanted to show you a few of the bits and pieces that I got for Christmas. I'm not going to do a full like this is what I got for Christmas, but I'll just show you a few of my like favourite bits and the bookish bits that I've been sent. So let's talk about been gifted. Let's talk about the books that I've finished first of all. So first of all I finished In the Shadow of Queens, Tales from the Tudor Court by Alison Weir. This is the last book in the 6 Tudor Queens series. It means that I read the complete series this year. And these, as I've said, oh no, I haven't said, is short stories that kind of weave in between the main books. So yeah, I didn't love this. Let's say that up front. I was a little bit disappointed by it. I thought this was going to be 5 stars. I'd given that series either 4 or 5 stars, the whole thing. This one was a 3. It felt like it didn't really add anything to the main stories, and it kind of felt like the kind of things that a writer writes to help them build the main narrative in their head, and like we didn't probably need to read most of it. Some of it was interesting. Obviously I finished it and it added some extra detail to some stuff that happens in the main books, but yeah, overall I wasn't wild about this and I gave it 3 stars, so that was a little bit disappointing. Then I've got it on a post-it note because I read this via audiobook. I read Sex Cult Nun by Faith Jones, and that was narrated by Catherine Fenton. I saw Aoife at Words of Clover talk about this in her November wrap-up, I think, and immediately went and downloaded it. And it was absolutely fascinating. So Faith, as you can tell from the title, was born into a cult, the Children of God, also known as the Family, and this is her story basically. And what I really enjoyed, I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. What I found really interesting was whenever I've read kind of cult narratives before, people that have left cults, they are talking about it as someone who is now on the outside, whereas what Faith did, she writes it from the perspective of herself at that age. So you start when she's about 5 or 6 and then all the way through to adulthood, and her eventually leaving the cult. And it was fascinating because she was really telling it through the eyes of herself at that age. And so, you know, as this 5 or 6 year old, she's growing up on a farm, she's got loads of siblings, she's got loads of aunties and uncles that are coming and living there for a bit and then leaving. And it seems like this quite idyllic childhood. And then you very gradually become aware of the sexual abuse that was happening within the cult, the kind of mind control that was going on, the gaslighting, all of that kind of stuff. But it's quite a gradual realisation. And I thought that was really effective. And yeah, if you can handle the topic, because you've got content warnings for sexual abuse, including the sexual abuse of children, rape, miscarriage, gaslighting, I think that was it. There's some kind of physical abuse as well, like punishments and stuff. If you can handle that kind of topic, this was a really interesting, really well written memoir. And if you want to listen to it on audiobook, I also really recommend the narrator. I really enjoyed that. So yeah, that was a 4 out of 5. Then on Christmas Eve, I did my traditional reread of A Christmas Carol by Charles Dickens. I'm not going to talk about this very much. I talk about it every year. I always reread it because I like to reclaim it basically from work. Just taught it to year 10 in November and December because it's their GCSE text, 19th century text. And so I like to kind of curl up on Christmas Eve and have a little reread myself. And it's 5 out of 5 stars. It always is. This is a really beautiful edition. That's the back. And I always get asked, and these are the Penguin V&A editions, which are very pretty. I don't think they have anything particularly special inside. No, not really. There's no like fancy end pages, but they're very pretty and they're very small and they look great on my shelf. So yes, that was a 5 out of 5 star read. Then I finished yesterday, I think, Agatha Christie Midwinter Murder. And this is a short story collection that my brother gifted me for Christmas, and it's not just the most beautiful thing I've seen. Like, so pretty. I gave this one 4 out of 5 stars, I think. Or was it a 3? I can't remember. It was either 3 or 4. Really enjoyed the reading experience. This book is so pretty. I will definitely be keeping it. I think I gave it a 4. Look at these end pages. And you've got a whole variety of kind of narrators and short stories. Some of them are Poirot, some of them are Miss Marple, some of them are other people, and they are really good. They're just kind of cozy mysteries, what you'd expect from Agatha Christie. If you like Agatha Christie, or you've got an Agatha Christie fan in your life, this would make a really good present. And yeah, I just enjoyed kind of curling up and seeing how various nefarious deeds unfolded. Then yesterday was a real day for finishing books. I finished The Maid by Nita Prose. This was gifted to me, I think this was Sue. Yeah, it was Sue from Read Along with Sue. Yeah, Read Along with Sue. Sent me this a while ago, and I really enjoyed this. We are following, what is her name? Oh my goodness, Molly. How could I forget that name? We're following Molly, who is a maid in a big fancy hotel, and one day she walks into a suite that she's cleaning and she finds one of the people staying there dead, and it goes from there. And she's trying to work out what's going on. And at the same time, Molly is clearly neurodivergent, and it's never stated that she has autism or is on the autism spectrum, but she's definitely neurodivergent because the way that she views the world and deals with the world and people deal with her is very different. I really enjoyed being in her head. I also really loved there's a found family element that comes into this as kind of things unfold. And I just thought it was really well done. I think the only downside for me, and the only thing that stopped me giving it 5 stars, was I was really unsure of where we were in time. From this, you might expect that it's going to be kind of a 1930s, 1940s story, but we're never actually told, and there's references to things like Netflix and mobile phones that make it feel modern, but I didn't feel particularly rooted in the setting. We also don't know which city we're in. It feels like New York, but it might not be, and I think that's kind of what threw me off a little bit and stopped me being able to give it that full 5 stars. But I did really enjoy this, and I would definitely look for more from the author, and I'd recommend this if you're looking for a cozy mystery. It was a fun, easy read, few twists and turns, few darker bits. Yeah, really enjoyed this one. Thank you very much, Sue. And then finally yesterday, I finished my Shakespeare for Every Day of the Year, which is edited by Ali Aziri. My husband bought me this for Christmas last year, and as you'd expect from the title, is literally a piece of Shakespeare. Let's look first of all at the end pages. Lovely. Yeah, you literally every single day you get, let's show a random January. You get a bit of explanation, and then you get a scene from Shakespeare for that day. And I always read it a week ahead, so obviously I finished it yesterday. I really thoroughly enjoyed this. I've given it 5 stars. If you know someone who is a Shakespeare fan, I would really recommend this. If you know someone who has read a bit of Shakespeare but is a bit hesitant, I would recommend this. I've learned some really interesting facts about the calendar. Is it raining? I can hear a clicking noise. I feel like it's raining now. Yeah, I've learned some interesting facts about the calendar. I learned some interesting facts about Shakespearean society and kind of background on the plays. And it was just really nice to kind of curl up and have a little bit of Shakespeare each day. So yeah, really loved that. 5 stars, and it's beautiful. So those are the books I've finished. Let's talk about some of the gifts, and then I'll open these parcels as well. So I've had two presents. I've had loads of presents. I've had 2 books in the gifts from my friends and family. First of all, my boss gifted me Down by the Water by Ellie Connell. They wanted to get away and now they can't get out. I don't really want to read the back. This is going to be a thriller. She usually gives me thrillers. And it just says 1 photo, 7 friends, and a stranger who vanished. And I was like, that is enough for me to I don't want to read any more than that. So if you've read this, because I don't think I've heard other people talking about it. So if you have read this, let me know what you think. But yeah, I'm excited to try that. And then one of my gifts from Charlie was this stunning Mina Lima, Snow White and Other Grimm's Fairy Tales. I mean, it's like, really, look at that. For those of you that don't know, I collect these. I have the whole, I'm very lucky to have the whole collection. And like, look at I'm so excited to settle down and read this. You will definitely see me review this before the end of the year because I feel like it will be my New Year's Eve. I mean, like, the whole thing is fully illustrated in colour, and then, I mean, I don't want to show any more because I don't want to give spoilers, but it's got obviously the Snow White story and then this whole collection of others. So who else have we got in here? Let's find the contents page. So we've got 2 different Snow White stories. We've got Snowdrop and Rose Red. We've got Sleeping Beauty, Cinderella, Goose Girl, Rapunzel, Rumpelstiltskin, Hansel and Gretel, Fisherman and His Wife, The Valiant Little Tailor, Red Riding Hood, Mother Holly, Golden Goose, 12 Huntsmen, The Frog Prince, The Wolf and the 7 Little Kids, The Travelling Musicians, The 12 Dancing Princesses, Hands in Luck, The Elves and the Shoemaker, and that's it. And then, you know, it starts like that. So yeah, the noise that came out of me when I opened this, I literally squealed. So I was like, excellent choice, Charlie. So yeah, I'm really, really excited to read that. But you will pretty much guaranteed to see me review that before the end of the year. And then a few other bits and pieces. I've honestly had so much this year. I've been thoroughly spoiled. The lovely Chloe from Chloe Reads Books bought this whole gift bag of stuff when she came, was it only last weekend? Yeah, last weekend for lunch. Which I opened on Christmas Day, and there's so much in there. She was completely spoiled me and the cats and Gary as well. But I just want to show these socks that she picked. So these say Merry Catmas, and they've just got little cats with, like, this one's got antlers, this one's got a little star on its head, and it just made me laugh, and I love these, and I will definitely be very excited to wear those. On the subject of socks, my husband also got me some socks for Christmas. If I just show one of them, they are alligator socks. He knows me so well. I'm going to put it on my arm. Obviously, I know it goes on my leg, but to, like, help give you the effect, because it makes it look like the alligator's eating your leg. And it's just one of the funniest things he's ever bought me, and I love them very much. So I'm very excited to wear those. One of my fellow English teachers also got me a bookish pin, which I'm very excited to wear. Another thing from Charlie that he bought me, or chose for me, is this brilliant sign that says English teacher, noun, a person who puts more thoughts into a novel than the original author did. And that just cracked me up. And Gary, like, had it, or framed it, really, like, mounted it and framed it. So yeah, that will go up on our hallway wall. And then the husband absolutely spoiled me yesterday. We always do presents separately, when you'll have seen in the B-roll some of the stuff that I got, but also for our wall is this sign where it says the library, so I need to decide where that's going to go. Absolutely stunning. And then this one, which made me crack up laughing. So it says, that's what I do. I read books, I drink wine, and I know things. You know, this black cat with its glasses on. I'm just obsessed with this. It was just really made me laugh. So yeah, that's some of the bits and pieces. Like I said, I'm not going to do a full, like, this is what I got for Christmas. I always like watching them, but I feel weirdly obnoxious filming them myself. So those are some of the bits I've had, but I've been very, very lucky, very spoiled. And speaking of being spoiled, I've got 2. Oh, that feels like it's got more than one thing in it. Amazon parcels. One has come from my wish list, and one has got my name, my actual name on it, which means it must be someone that's got my address. So let's open this one first. This is the one with my actual name on it. So let's see what we've got. Oh, gift. Yes. Oh, it's from Charlotte. Okay, from Books and Bargains. A bit of non-fiction, a bit of fiction, and something to eat while you are reading. You don't have to share. It's up to you. From Charlotte. Oh, let's see what she sent. Okay, so let's go for this one first. Oh, The Prison Doctor, the final sentence. This is the 3rd in that series. I obviously read Women Inside, I think in November, and I really enjoyed it, so I'm really intrigued for this. And it's stories from inside a foreign national prison by Dr. Amanda Brown. So that's great choice, Charlotte. A little bit of non-fiction. What else is in here? Oh, that's a thick one. Oh, and she sent me Like a Charm by Elle McNichol. If you'd said to me which books might Charlotte send you, this one would have been on that list. And I don't really know much about it, except everyone keeps shouting at me to read it. I think it's YA, not YA, middle grade. And about a girl that can see ghosts or something. Plunge into an adventure that changed everything. Ramya is about to learn that there is more to her powers than she ever imagined. Yeah, that sounds really good. I'm very excited for this one. And then she said there was something to eat. So what am I not sharing with my husband? Oh, it's not in here. Maybe that's in the other parcel, or it might have got stuck. Oh, and there's another gift note that says, Merry Christmas, my lovely. I don't know what I would do without you. I don't know what I'd do without you either, so let's not. Oh, here comes Jack. Hello, baby. Right, and then this one. Maybe this is also from Charlotte. Let's try and, busted. Okay, there we go. Right. Oh no, this is a book. Who's this from? Ooh, oh, I can see what the book is. Oh, it's from Cat, Brews and Reviews. And it's An Unkindness of Ghosts by River Solomon. I'm so excited for this. I read, it's on The Deep by River Solomon, and I loved it. And then this, that was like a novella. And then this is a full novel, I think. Yes. There's loads of stuff on the back of this, but I think it's set in space, and it's like the antebellum South is how it's divided, and we're following a character in that. Jack's now in the tunnel. I'm so excited for this. What did Kat say? So she said, Merry Christmas. I hope you like this book as much as I did from Kat at Brews and Reviews. I'm very excited, and I'm sure I will. I've had my eye on this for ages, so you may well see this. Oh, where'd that gift note go? Appearing in a wrap-up very shortly. So that's very exciting. Oh, also, did I just see this was... Oh, okay, this was their debut novel, River Solomon debut novel, and I adored The Deep as much as it was, you know, emotionally really tough to read. So yes, I'm very excited for this. So that's my 16-minute update. Oh, hello Jack. He's playing in the tunnel now. Next couple of days. Today we're going to chill. Tomorrow I need to sort my life out and do like laundry and a food shop and, you know, eat a vegetable. Probably be a good idea. What's he doing now? You can see him there. So that's tomorrow. And then Thursday we pick Charlie up, which is great because then we've got 4 days. I will be marking Thursday. Thursday's going to be a marking day. Hopefully I'll get it all done then. If not, Sunday will also be a marking day. But Thursday we'll be marking. Friday we're going to go to our friend's house. They've just moved, so we're going to go and see the new house and see them and have a piece of cake and all that good stuff. Saturday we are thinking about going to the cinema. That's New Year's Eve. Charlie's with us for New Year's Eve and he wants to stay up till midnight, so that will be interesting, given that I'm usually in bed by 10, but we will give that a go. And then Sunday, potentially marking. Hopefully I'll just be reading on the sofa. And then Monday, Charlie goes back to his mum's Sunday evening. Monday we've got a day by ourselves, and then it's back to work on Tuesday. So yeah. Right now, I'm going to go and put away all of my Christmas presents because I had left them because I was like, oh, I'm going to film a clip. So now I need to put all this stuff away, get back into my pyjamas, get back on the sofa and read. It's the 29th of December, I think. Yeah, 29th, let's go with that. And I have, as you've seen from the B-roll, barely filmed anything over the last couple of days. We have been like deep into relaxation mode. You might be able to herself, she's padding around behind the camera. Yeah, deep into relaxation mode. We've literally slept, ate a lot, read loads. I've read loads, we've watched a lot of TV, naps. It's been blissful. Yesterday I did slightly get like ants in my pants. I can usually do about 2-3 days and then I'm a bit like, oh, the house is a mess and my to-do list is long and all that stuff. So yesterday was a bit more of a kind of get stuff done day. So like did the food shop. I had to take Sav to the vet because her bottom lip has blown up again. So given her a steroid injection to try and help settle that. It does look a lot better today, but if it happens a third time we'll have to take her back in for like samples and blood and stuff. So let's hope that doesn't happen. What else did I do yesterday? Cleared out like under my bed, cleared out my jewelry box. If you follow me on Instagram, you'll have seen that thrilling content that I was bringing you guys. I ordered myself an hoodie, which should be here in the next couple of days, so that'll probably be in January's vlog, but I'm very excited for that to arrive. And yeah, today is kind of get back into real life mode day. Gary's gone to pick Charlie up. We've now got him until New Year, which is fab. We've got 4 days together. I need to mark today, so by the time this goes up, the live stream will already be up because I just find it far more fun to like chat with you guys whilst I'm marking and doing it that way. So I'm about to go, well, in about an hour or so, I'm about to go and do a live stream for that. So I'll link that in case you want it for like reading sprints or whatever, productivity sprints, which will be fun. And first I have to film my very first ever sponsored video for this channel, which I'm very nervous about filming, and I'm nervous about what you guys will think, and I'm nervous about what the sponsors will think. It's the first time I've had to send a video to be approved before it can go live, so I think it will go live before this one, but I'm not sure, so I won't say just in case. But yeah, I've got 3 videos that these sponsors have paid for, which is exciting and is also really, really scary. So yeah, not sure how I feel about it right now. Like I said, excited, really thrilled to be given the opportunity and be part of this, because it's genuinely something I would never have stuff on my channel that I wasn't genuinely excited about, and this I think is actually really interesting. So we'll see. But anyway, in all of that, I've also finished 2 books. So the first book that I finished was A Keeper by Graham Norton. This was gifted to me last Christmas. This was the oldest book on my TBR. And this was Sheila, lovely Sheila from SS Loves Books, sent me this last Christmas as my Secret Santa gift. And it took me until this Christmas to read it. So I'm sorry, Sheila. I enjoyed this. I think I gave it 3 or 4 stars. My whole brain's turned to mush. But my Goodreads is always linked, and my StoryGraph, so you can always go there if you want to be sure of what I gave it. I think it was 4 stars. And we're following a woman called Elizabeth, whose mother has died, and she's coming back from New York to a small town in Ireland to clear out her mother's house. And while she's there, she finds a bundle of letters, and then we go back in time with her mother, and we find out some things about Elizabeth and Elizabeth's family and all of that kind of stuff. And I really enjoyed this. I enjoyed this a lot more than I was expecting, I'll be honest. My expectations were pretty low. Graham Norton, in case you don't know, I think he's generally famous. He's a TV presenter and kind of TV presenter, and he hosts Eurovision, all that kind of stuff. And whenever I've read like celebrity written stories, I always go in with low expectations. But I enjoyed this one. This was a lot darker than I thought. It was a lot twistier than I thought. I don't want to say too much more about the plot, because obviously I don't want to give things away. Sorry, Sav is now trying to climb over Molly, who was on the... Oh, they're doing nose boops. Molly's on the radiator, and actually that was quite sweet. Yeah, it was darker than I thought, twister than I thought. And yeah, I enjoyed it. I would definitely read more from him. I'm not sure if this was... I think this was his debut. But yeah, it definitely gripped me, and it was a fairly quick, easy read. Then I also read Broadcast by Liam Brown. You've already seen me open this in this vlog. This was obviously a Christmas present. I think... Was this Laura? Because I got the 2 in my head confused because who gave me what. Yeah, this is from Laura. Lovely Laura. And I read this. This is very short. It's about 250 something pages. This was weird. Started out really strong. I gave it 3 stars overall. Loved the setup and the beginning. About halfway through, I was like, I think this is going to be a 4-star. And then the end just kind of, for me, it just dropped off a cliff. This is about a YouTuber who agrees to have a chip implanted in his head, which will broadcast his thoughts 24/7 to the world. And it's about what happens. And I'm not going to get too much more into the plot because, like I said, it's really short and I don't want to give spoilers away. This felt a lot like... The author is very anti-social media, which is absolutely fine. But that felt like a really obvious kind of point of view that he was pushing. And obviously all writers put their opinions into their work. And obviously writers put in opinions into their work that aren't their own as well. But this, I really hate it when a writer is really obviously pushing their point of view on something. Because it just takes me out of the story. And, sorry, Sab's here now. This is obviously... quite an extreme version of social media, but yeah, it just felt a little bit preachy. And then the ending happened and I was a bit like, really? So yeah, I gave it 3 stars. I'm really glad I read it. I'm really glad Laura sent it to me, so thank you, Laura, for sending it to me, because it's been on my wish list for ages and it's been one of those I've keep like looking at and having my eye on, no pun intended. If you like dystopian stories, if you like kind of Black Mirror-esque stories, I'd give this a go. But like I said, the ending just got a little bit... It felt a bit like I was being lectured to by the author, which I don't really enjoy. So that was a 3-star. So right now, I'm going to film this video. I'm going to stop being nervous, film this video. Then I'm going to go live and mark. And then Charlie will be here. And then we've got some nice fun stuff planned over the next few days. I just need to get my marking out of the way first. And those were almost all of the books that I read in the month of December. It's now the 2nd of January, just for full disclosure, as usual. Haven't filmed for a few days. Today's the last day of the school holidays, and I'll obviously talk about this more in my January wrap up, but I'm very nervous about going back to work, anxious about going back to work. There's a lot happening this term, and the thought of going back to 150 miles an hour after being at 0 for the last 2 weeks is a little bit intimidating. But anyway, I have 3 more books to talk about that I finished, and then we'll do stats and talk about my favourite reads of the month and all that kind of stuff, and then that's it for this very, very long video. Thank you so much if you've made it to this point, incidentally. I know it's a big one. My December reading wrap-up is always pretty huge because I tend to read a lot of books, and there's a lot of just like Christmassy B-roll that I want to capture. So yes, thank you for being here and for making it to this point. So my last 3 books of the year were 2 4-stars and a 5-star, so I finished the year on a really positive note. The first one of those was The Interview by C.M. Ewan. You watched me open this at the beginning of this vlog, I think it was this month. The lovely Olivia Savannah from Olivia's Catastrophe gifted me this for Christmas, and I can't really tell you that much about it. It's a thriller. It says on the front, her dream job or a deadly trap, and we are following, what is her name? I can't remember, which is really bad because I only read this a couple of days ago. Kate. We're following Kate, and she is interviewing for her dream job in a high-rise building in London, and she arrives towards the end of the day, and it's about what happens from there. I really can't tell you any more than that. There's a lot going on. So I feel like this book would be a real Marmite one. I'm going to put these down over here. I think it's one of those you'll either love or really hate. I really enjoyed it. It was mostly a 3-star read until the end, and then I got quite emotionally attached, which I wasn't expecting. It doesn't usually happen for me with these kinds of books. So I was really impressed with that. It was just twisty-turny all over the place. Like, this will give you whiplash because there's just stuff happening all the time. There's lots of little reveals along the way. I feel like if you like John Mars, this is a very similar feel in that it takes a while for everything to kind of unfold and for you to realise how everything and everyone is connected. And so yeah, I thought this was good. This is definitely like read it once. It's the kind of thing that if like I was on a beach holiday or whatever, I would read it and then leave it at the hotel for somebody else to pick up. So you'll probably see this in an on-haul shortly, but I really enjoyed the reading experience. It was really fast, it was pacey, it was twisty. Some of the twists I saw coming, some of it felt a little bit ridiculous. You definitely have to suspend your disbelief if you're going to go into this, because there were several things that happened and I was like, well, that's not realistic at all. But just kind of turn your brain off, strap in and enjoy the ride. And yeah, I thought this was really fun. So thank you very much, Olivia Savannah. It was perfect for an end of the year kind of fast-paced read. I also read in one sitting Claire Keegan's Small Things Like These. This was one of the books that my brother gifted me for Christmas that he wanted me to read over the Christmas period. I did read 2 out of the 3. I haven't read the play, but I will pick that up at some other point in 2023. This was shortlisted for the Booker Prize in 2022. I was going to say this year, but I'm filming this in 2023. So 2022 shortlisted Booker Prize. This was beautifully done. I gave it 4 stars. We're following a man called Bill, who owns a fuel company. He supplies people with like logs for fires and coal and all that kind of stuff in a small town in Dublin. I think it's 1985. Yeah, small, not in Dublin. It's a small Irish town, 1985. And he's just kind of going about his life in the run-up to Christmas. And it's very much a commentary on small town life, on the mother and baby homes, and you know that from the beginning because there's an author's note at the start, that were prevalent in Ireland, and also about kind of everyday bravery, and I think we'll leave it at that. This was beautifully written. It really reminded me of, she was on the back of my Sarah Moss, that kind of feel, very quiet, very slow, but then when you come away, it's got real emotional impact. I feel like this is one I will think about a lot. It didn't give me the 5-star feel, which is obviously why I gave it a 4, but I really enjoyed this one. It's very impactful. I feel like it's one that I will think about a lot, and I can see why it was shortlisted for the Booker. And then my final read of 2022 was Snow White and Other Grimm's Fairy Tales. You've obviously already seen me open this. Charlie chose this for me for Christmas as part of my Christmas gift. I've now got hiccups. I gave this 5 stars. This is the illustrated interactive Mina Lima edition. I never show any of the interactive elements when I'm doing reviews for this because it feels like a massive spoiler, but I will show you. I think I've already showed you some of the illustrations, and I've shown you like, I Did I show you the map? Because the map is stunning. Let's show that again just in case I didn't. Look at this. This is the fairy tale kingdom where like all the fairy tales take place. Each symbol matches up with one of the stories. I just like, this is just unreal. And yeah, I gave it 5 stars. I always enjoy these reading experiences. Look at this illustration. They're just unreal. So yeah, that was a lovely way to end. I finished reading this on New Year's Eve and just like curled up with it. And it was a lovely time. So 5 stars, and highly recommend these. If you know someone who is a book collector or loves books, I would highly recommend these editions. They are expensive, there's no getting away from that, but in terms of beautiful books and lovely reading experiences, I would highly recommend them. So that was my 5-star read. So I started the year on a 5-star read and I finished the year on a 5-star read, so that was very pleasing. There will be a video coming, if it hasn't already. No, this is coming first. There will be, I'm going to do a video where I like wrap up 2012 and give you stats. 2012, where do I think I am? Where I wrap up 2022, give you all of my stats and like my best what are words? My best reading months of the year. I'll also into that video put like my favourite reads of the year and all that kind of stuff. So that is coming, or it's planned. I haven't filmed it yet. So I won't go into all of that, but let's do some December stats. So I read 19 books in December, which puts it equal with October for most books read in a month. It was just a really good reading month and I thoroughly enjoyed it. I read 6,269 pages, which is the most I've read in a month all year, which was 203 a day. And my average star rating was 4.0. So not only did I have a really good month in terms of volume, but also in terms of star ratings, it was really high. My most disappointing, so I want to finish on favourite read. My most disappointing read was Stillhouse Lake by Rachel Caine. The more I think about this, it was bad. Like, in my opinion, it was just really poorly written and just really disappointing, because I really thought this was going to be highly rated. I looked back at, or StoryGraph gave me like my stats for the year, which I will talk about more in my wrapping up 2022 video. But I only gave out 2-star ratings this year, which was this one and the second Lindsay Kelk book, not I Heart New York, that's the first one. I Heart Hollywood. Those are the 2 books that I've given 2 stars this year, which are my lowest ratings. So yeah, definitely a disappointing one, that one, unfortunately. And then my favourite read of the month is still A Girlhood by Carolyn Hayes. I'm going to get myself a finished copy of this book because it was just so impactful. It's one that I've thought about a lot since I finished it, and it's also one that I kind of feel like I want to push on other people, make other people read. So this was definitely my favourite read of the month. My top read of the month was definitely this one. And then my TBR, I've counted up my TBR, and one of my goals or my intentions for this year was to get my TBR under 50 books. And we're finishing on 47, which is really pleasing. And I feel like my TBR was in a good place. I was looking at it again the other day, and I'm excited for all the books on there. There's a good mix of stuff. I've got a good kind of choice, selection to choose from, but it doesn't feel overwhelming. So yeah, I feel like I finished 2022 in a really good space with my reading. So I think that's quite enough. I think this video is going to be over an hour and a half long, so sorry about that. If you made it to this point in the video, leave me the Christmas tree emoji. Our Christmas tree came down on Friday, and the Christmas decorations, and I missed the tree. I do miss the tree. Oh, do I miss the tree, or do I just miss the sparkly lights? Probably that one, but I am also liking having my house back to normal and having far more space in our lounge. So yeah, leave me the Christmas tree emoji if you got to this point in the video. Please subscribe if you would like more of this chaos, and I will see you in the next one. Thanks everyone, bye.